When your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and is to be heard. Purport. There are many good examples in the lives of the great devotees of the Lord, of those who became indifferent to the rituals of the Vedas, simply by devotional service to the Lord. When a person actually understands Krishna and his relationship with Krishna, he naturally becomes completely indifferent to the rituals of fruitive activities, even though an experienced Brahmin. Srimati Puri, a great devotee and acharya in the life of the devotees, says, Sandhyavandana Bhagavastu Bhagavatu Snana Jugam Bodhe Pitanashtatarpana Vido Namaksha Shamatam Yachakvapi Chadayakam Kulo Tomashasya Kamsadvisha Smaran Smaran Param Haram Tad Alamane Kamane. O my prayers, 3 times a day, all glories to you. Obey me, my obeisance unto you. O demigods, all four forms, please excuse me for my inability to respect. Now, wherever I sit, I can remember the great descendant of the Adi dynasty, the enemy of Kamsa, and thereby can free myself from all sinful bondage. I think this is sufficient for me. The Vedic rites and rituals are imperative for neophytes, comprehending all kinds of prayers 3 times a day, taking part in the morning, offering respects to the forefathers, etc. But when one is fully in Krishna consciousness and is engaged in his transcendental service, one becomes indifferent to all these remedies and principles because he has already attained perfection. If one can reach the platform of understanding by service to the Supreme Lord Krishna, he has no longer to execute different types of penances and sacrifices as recommended in the field scriptures. And similarly, one has not understood the purpose of the Vedas to reach Krishna and simply engages in the rituals, etc., then he is uselessly wasting his time in such engagements. Persons in Krishna consciousness transcend the visual shadow ground or the range of the Vedas. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. To say that one is samadhi is to say that one has fully realized Krishna consciousness. That is, one in full samadhi has realized Brahman. Self-realization is to understand that one is eternally disturbed by Krishna, and that one's only business is to discharge one's duty in Krishna consciousness. A Krishna conscious person or an authentic devotee of the Lord should not be disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, nor be engaged in fruitive activities. In Krishna consciousness, one comes directly into union with Krishna, and thus all directions from Krishna are understood in that transcendental state. One is sure to achieve results by such activities and attain complete and conclusive knowledge. One has only to carry out the orders of Krishna on his representatives. Text 54. Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is broken? How does he speak and what is his language? How does he sit and how does he walk?" Purport. As there are symptoms for each and every man in terms of particular situation. Similarly, Krishna consciousness has this particular nature: talking, walking, thinking, feeling, etc. The rich man has the symptoms by which he is known as a rich man. As a diseased man has the symptoms by which he is known as disease. Or as a learned man has his symptoms, so the man in transcendental consciousness of Krishna has specific symptoms of various deeds. One can know the specific symptoms of the Bhagavad Gita. Most important is how the man in Krishna consciousness speaks. For speech is the most important quality of any man. It is said that is undisclosed as long as one speak. And certainly a well-dressed fool cannot be attained unless he speaks. As soon as he speaks, he repeats himself at once. The immediate symptom of Krishna consciousness is that he speaks only of Krishna and of matters relating to him. Other symptoms then automatically follow the state. The Supreme Personality of God said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arises in concoction, and when his mind thus purified finds satisfaction in self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. Purport. The Bhagavatam affirms that any person who is fully in Krishna consciousness or devotional service of the Lord has all the good qualities of the great sages, whereas a person who is not so transcendently I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisance unto him. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitanyena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadhamayam Dadati Svapadantikam. Namo Vishnu Vidaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Shimari Bhaktivedanta Swami. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachayani Nirvishesha Shanivadi Paschatana Vishatani. Panchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripasamiyevyacha Patitanam. Krishna Devi. In the book here, it is stated that it's quoting that one should give up taking a bath early in the morning, give up saying prayers 3 times a day, and forget about all those rituals. So, is that what we should do in Krishna consciousness? Should we do these things? Give up taking a bath? No, not now. Yeah, good answer. We're not necessarily, we're not ready to do things like that or to give up our prayers. But the point is that if we're doing them under the instruction of the spiritual master, because that is also stated here, that the spiritual master is the representative of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada, he basically said, he explained to us that we should get up early in the morning and we should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if possible, 16 rounds every day, which is about 2 hours, and follow the 4 regulative principles, which means no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. And not only that, but he said that in the morning time we should read from the scriptures. We should read the Bhagavad Gita, or in the morning time, Srimad Bhagavatam. And in classes all around the world in Iskcon, every morning there's a Bhagavatam class explaining about the nature of Krishna. And the reason for that is because Krishna Svadharma Parvati, as the first line of that verse in the Bhagavatam, where it says that that everyone should get light from this Purana, because when Krishna left the planet 5,000 years ago, he incarnated instead in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And therefore, if we want to be able to live in this world, especially in Kali Yuga, we should hear Bhagavatam every day, religiously every day. and we should associate with devotees who are following Srimad Bhagavatam, because that's the only way in which we can actually be free from all the different anarthas which have brought us to this material world, which are keeping us in this material world, and which will make us take birth again in this material world, not even necessarily in the human form of life, but maybe even lower. So these are the reasons why we follow the instructions of the spiritual master, because the spiritual master is giving us the safe boat of transcendental knowledge to go across the ocean of material suffering. The reason that I was asking that question at the start was because sometimes people they take to religious practice. There's three different ways in which they do that. One way is that they do it to satisfy their senses, because they want to be happy in this world. Now it's not wrong to want to be happy, because that's the nature of the soul. Anandamayo Vyashat. It's like it is full of knowledge, full of bliss. So the problem is that we're trying to find happiness by enjoying the senses, by trying to enjoy the senses. But when we try to enjoy the senses, we actually become unhappy. We may temporarily become a little happy, but then afterwards we experience misery. Because there's a verse in Bhagavad Gita which explains that what is nectar in the beginning is poison in the end, and what is poison in the beginning, which means being able to control our senses, then becomes nectar in the end. Because being able to control the senses means that we don't indulge in sense gratification, and therefore we can instead focus on the self or the soul. We have the ability, and we can experience the happiness within. There's another verse in Bhagavad Gita which explains about he who is happy within. Because if we're happy within, then we're not going to chase our happiness outside. And the nature of the material world is to keep on giving allurements for so-called happiness. In fact, that is the nature of the material world, and it's the nature of the materialistic society in which we're living. It is promising all this so-called happiness. If you notice that in the scientific world, it is always trying to make things easier. It's always trying to make things more happy, more satisfied, more comfortable. Whether it's the latest toothbrush or the latest, was it 5G, 4G, whether it's the latest computer, it's always trying to make things better. And it's trying to make people happy. And so what has happened is that the scientific community has completely dismissed the idea that there is a supreme controller, that there's somebody behind all of this. In fact, it is presenting itself as the supreme controller, that it knows it's sending people to the moon. It has devised all these ways in which people can communicate with each other. It has television, it has economic development. It has, sped up the whole banking sector so that people can get loans. That's about it. You can have a loan, and then you can be happy. So basically, that's what science is trying to present. It's trying to present oneself as the thing that can make us happy in this world, But it's forgetting one important factor, that it cannot make anybody happy, because
The only thing that can make people happy is the supreme source, which is Krishna. Krishna or God. And Krishna means the all-attractive personality. And in fact, they've done everything that they can to dismiss the idea that there is such a thing as a God. Like, if you go out there on the street now and ask at least as many people as are out there, say there's 100 people out walking up and down the street, how many of them are thinking about God? You know, or that God is in control? Or are they thinking of the Lewis is in control? Or they thank God it's the Lewis I can get home? Or, most people are not. They're not. They're not thinking that way. They think that, well, I can get on it. I can scroll all the way home. And, um, but that's basically the scientific community has created a world in which where everyone's forgetful of God. But the fact is that this God is in every atom. Every atom that's here, God is now. He's controlling the whole solar system. Like, that's one of the most amazing things. Now it's dark, and it's about 7:30, 7:45 in the morning. The sun will appear again. There's an incredible arrangement going on. And at this particular moment in time, we're probably maybe not digesting our food. Our food is still digesting. There's so many enzymes going in one part of the body. The proteins are going in a different place. Our heart is beating. It's not, how did that happen? How did that happen? Who's doing anything about that? We have all these massive systems going on outside, but there's an incredible system going on inside. And the brain is working, and the intelligence is there, soul is there, but they don't think that that's even worth thinking about. They just take it for granted, or a scientific community would say, "Oh, we don't ask those kind of questions. What is the meaning of life? Oh, that's not important." So basically, the reason that they forget God and only concern themselves with God's energy is so that they can utilize God's energy for their enjoyment and for our enjoyment. That's the only reason they're doing it. They're trying to be mini gods themselves. They're claiming all this energy for themselves. That's what's happening, and we're in that world. So we are actually, how would you say, we are influenced by that world. We are influenced by that mentality, even in our association. So that's why it's so important that devotees, that they come together and that they speak about Krishna. And it's funny, it's incredible that Arjuna has asked the question, by how is one it to be known who has who has actually taken up to God consciousness? And how does he sit? How does he walk? And then at the very end of the purport, Prabhupada says, and one of the things that is, how does he speak? And then at the end of it, then Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Krishna says, so this is Krishna's answer. And the answer is, Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification," okay, for the senses, for sense gratification, when he gives up all varieties of desire, and I just want to get into that as well, because the varieties can be massive. There are so many ways in which people try to enjoy. There are 8,400,000 species in which the living entity is trying to enjoy separately from God. There are so there are multitudes of ways that people are trying to enjoy. I should say that we are trying to enjoy. We should always bring it back to ourselves, because we have to liberate ourselves, by Krishna's mercy, by His Guru's mercy. So I wanted to mention that that's why I stated at the start, and why the spiritual guides, they're all telling us, our spiritual masters, and Prabhupada gave this system by getting up early in the morning and by chanting Hare Krishna, 16 rounds if possible. If not 16 rounds, maybe whatever fixed number of rounds, and by hearing every morning. Because otherwise, we're going to be totally influenced by the material society, who are influenced by the scientific community, who are trying to get people to enjoy their senses, to be happy. That's the way of liberation. But Bhagavad Gita explains that there's another world, which is the spiritual world. And that's where we can be happy, in the spiritual world. And it gives a whole description in the Bhagavatam of what the spiritual world is like. That's why if we don't get a good picture of what the spiritual world is about, we're not going to get the energy or the impetus to go there. So that's why I was also saying that we should hear Bhagavatam as much as we can, because that way we will get to know what the spiritual world is like. And we'll get to know that that's the place where we want to be. So our taste will, even though at the moment it may be, oh God, I'd rather read the news, I'd rather read papers, I'd rather be playing games or whatever it is. I'm not, everybody's got their own version of whatever that is. But that's only to distract us away from hearing about Krishna. But because it is poison in the beginning, but it's nectar in the end. It's like we're jaundiced, like a person with jaundice. The only thing that it can help him is if he takes something, it's called rock candy. It's very good for jaundice. But at the beginning, it tastes bitter. So we may not like to get up in the morning. It's cold. Look, the alarm is going. No, I just want to stay on a bit longer. And then an hour later. No, we should be practiced to be able to get up at that point and then start to hear and chant. I'm just mentioning these things because they're kind of the things which are needed for us to get the strength to start to look into spiritual things. So, is there any comments or anyone would like to ask any questions or? And any comment as well with yourself. Yeah. It's a very good question. And funny, it's kind of in one of these purports, Prabhupada explains what we must do. Now, obviously, we can't get rid of desire. We know that anyway. And as we go on, we will see ourselves like initially it's like a kind of an offer we get because often in this kind of January sales now coming out at the moment. Just you can get everything 50% off for this. So it's like when we take the Krishna consciousness at the beginning, we get a kind of a bargain, like a sale. Krishna removes the material energy, so we get this incredible taste. Funny, I was just thinking of that this morning. I remember it was back in 1984, and we went to. I remember traveling up by car from Belfast or from Dublin to Belfast, and we were kind of a Sankirtan team, and we were basically hoping to open a temple in Belfast, and within 3 weeks we were able to collect enough Lakshmi to put down a 50% deposit on an amazing house in Belfast. Like the energy was just unbelievable. Like it was like everything was smooth. It was going really well. And I was remembering that was 40 years ago, and it's nearly 40 years ago since I have had a taste like that. And I was only a beginning devotee, but Krishna somehow or other gave us this incredible taste at that point. And so that's a very common occurrence that, as you said at the beginning, you're kind of flying, and it's easy. But Krishna is also trying to explain to us that the material desires are quite deep. They're quite deep. And I was also trying to say that point. and that okay, now you've made the decision, you've seen that it works, but now you have to get down to work. And that's even what initiation is like. When you take initiation, when you make the vow that you'll follow those records of principles and follow and chant 16 rounds, that it's initiation at the beginning, and it is the prescribed method by the the whole parampara that we have here, culminating in Srila Prabhupada coming to the West and telling people that this is like previously it was 64 rounds that people had to chant. But he made it more manageable to 16 rounds. That this is what we must do. This is what we must do initially, so that we can actually eventually come to this stage whereby the material desires start to go away. You know. Yeah. 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 Yes. Yes. Yeah. 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 So Prabhu's question is that it's a very good question. Is that when we're in Kirtan, which we'll be doing quite shortly at 7 o'clock, you know, everyone's chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, and it's kind of joyful. It's like, it's easier, more easy to perform, and it seems to be that's the thing that we should be doing more. But yet the emphasis is on chanting 16 rounds, which we do on our own often, a lot of the time. And then the taste from that isn't actually the same. You don't feel as absolutely, if this enjoyment is there. It's a kind of like a struggle. You have to, you might get tired from one time and you're kind of sleepy and your mind is going all over the place. Yeah, I mean, that is just a fact. That is a fact. Now, we had to take the instruction of the spiritual master to make sure that we chant better at those times. And I've often found there's different ways in which we can chant better. One is to read about the power of the mantra. To read how powerful this mantra is. And we used to read a book called Chinamamrita, and it was all the quotes in the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita, where Prabhupada talks about the power of the holy name. And that's one thing. Some devotees, they can chant just sitting down and meditating, keeping their eyes closed. Other devotees need to walk up and down. There are different methods, but we shouldn't be surprised that it's not as ecstatic. But it should never, though, be the reason for us not to do it. And we should, if we can, it says the vow that we take is chant at least 16 minutes. We don't have to chant, we don't have to stop at 16 rounds, although sometimes time constraints would be a little bit limiting. But we often find that if there's a time when we can chant more than 16 rounds, then suddenly we start to float, and then we start to really hear the mantra as well. So one of the advices from some of my spiritual mentors is to chant more. Whenever you get an opportunity, just chant more. Keep on going and chanting, and you break through barriers. That's how they put it. And I've often seen that in my chanting, that the first few rounds, it can be quite distracting and sleepy. then after a while it starts to get in their momentum. Then there's a kind of a mood to try to slow down again. But then if you break through that barrier, then you start to chant and then you start to hear. And it you don't know what it's doing. It's something which is actually acting on you. If you hear, I remember my spiritual guide wrote a book called Chapel Reform back in 1984 or something. And it was a book that many devotees read. And basically, what you would do is you'd read about the different things you can do in chanting, and to keep yourself focused. Because even then, at the beginning, it was very obvious that devotees were having difficulty. They were finding it hard to do it. So the first thing is that always keep doing it. Never stop doing it, because you don't know the effect that it's going to have. I suppose I could put a little caveat in there that's been my experience for X amount for quite a long time, relatively speaking. And that you do get the benefit as you go on. You really start to see the benefit. I think in the purport, I think it's in this purport, Prabhupada says, I'll just get my glasses again. When a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. And what Prabhupada says in the purport is very good. The Bhagavatam affirms that any person who is fully in Krishna consciousness or devotional service of the Lord has all the good qualities of the great sages, whereas a person who is not so transcendently situated has no good qualifications, because he is sure to be taking refuge in his own mental concoction. Consequently, it is rightly said herein that one has to give up all kinds of sense desire manufactured by mental concoction. And now, this is what he says. Artificially, such sense desires cannot be stopped. So we can't artificially stop them. That's the question you're asking at the beginning. But if one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, and the instruction is there, then automatically sense desires subside without extraneous effort. So it's to do with this, the false ego dissolves the more that we follow the instructions of the spiritual master and the more that we chant the holy name. Therefore, one has to engage himself in Krishna consciousness without hesitation. For this devotional service will instantly help one onto the platform of transcendental consciousness. So it's explained that we may not be on that platform yet, but this will help one to get onto that platform. But the word that he uses, without hesitation. So that means a kind of a surrender or an acceptance, that we just do it on the command, on the order of the spiritual master. And it's said in the books that of all the instructions of the spiritual master, the instruction to chant 16 rounds is the most important. And so therefore, it becomes such an essential part. And then while we're chanting, then we have to learn how to chant attentively, because there's 10 offenses in chanting, and it's said that the most important one is which is the base of all the other ones, is to be inattentive while chanting. It is also said to be offensive to be inattentive while chanting. So therefore, we have to make it very important. We have to make a major move, so that when we're chanting, to be attentive. So each one of us has our own way in which we have to do that. Whether it's like we might come into the temple for Mangal Arati when we have chanting every day. When you come into the Mangal Arati, you can chant then, with other devotees. I also find that it's more helpful when I'm chanting with other devotees, but I don't normally get that chant. But when I do get that chant, I will, because you feel as if it's, you're kind of, you hear other people chanting and they're interested in their chanting, so that helps a lot. And some people, when they're chanting, they always have a tape of Srila Prabhupada chanting, I find that quite helpful, but I find then after a while, anyway, different people have different ways in which you can, but to be attentive is most important. And then Krishna says that The highly developed soul always remains satisfied in himself by realizing himself as the eternal servitor of the Supreme. Such a transcendently situated person has no sense desires resulting from petty materialism. Rather, he remains always happy in his natural position of eternally serving the Supreme Lord. So, what Prabhupada is saying, what Krishna is saying, is that it's a gradual thing. That while we're chanting and while we're following the instruction, that the inauspicious things will be wiped away. Cheto Darpan Marjan Prabhamana Darpan Nirvapan. Dale Karva the Chantikitaran, Raja Jivana, Ananda Buddhivardhan Pati Purnam. So that's Shri Krishna Sankirtan. Lord Chaitanya, who's there, he said that this is the way in which all the inauspicious things in the soul, because that's what's making you afraid or not interested in chanting. I wanted to, oh, he's too tired, oh, I can't do this, oh no, just better read the newspaper, better to go ahead and do something else, better, play the game or whatever, listen to this sport, or, they're all the things which the materialist is trying to kind of, for so long, we've convinced ourselves that we'll be happy by doing material things and by experiencing sense gratification, sense enjoyment. We've convinced ourselves like that. So it's not unusual that the mind is going to keep on telling us that, even when we're chanting and we know this is the best possible thing. But our mind is going to keep on with this, nagging us, basically, telling us that we're going to have a better time if we don't chant and if we do something else. But the Bhagavad Gita is on the platform of the intelligence. The more we hear about that, then the more we'll say, no. Bhaktisiddhanta will talk about beating the mind with a shoe in the morning and a broom in the evening. The mind is just saying all these things. He would just tell us, don't listen to the mind. Just don't listen. Just hear from the scripture. And that will give us that ability to chant more. Now, as I say, having been practicing for quite a long time, relatively speaking, the thing I would say is that you don't beat yourself up either. If you can't do it straight away, don't kind of oh no good, no I can't do it. And I've often seen people that they've left the Hare Krishna movement because they thought they were no good. But that's just mine again. It's going to take time. It can take time because we're so used to living in this material world, and we're still surrounded by material energy and material persons that we're going to be distracted or attracted back in. And we have so many material desires since time immemorial. And we're just now we're starting to say, okay, I don't want this anymore. Like it's quite interesting because people originally, when the yogis and so on, and this is what the original verses are about, is that don't be attracted by the flowery language of the Vedas, because the Vedas is a kind of an authorized way in which you can enjoy sense gratification, and in the next life you go back to a heavenly planet. That's what a lot of these things are about, and people they follow the Vedas just for that. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, forget about the Vedas. Forget about that. That's no good. That means you're just going to keep coming back here all the time. You're just going to come back for more material enjoyment. Forget about it. Don't be distracted by the flowery language of the Vedas, it says. So it seems what? Krishna's saying that? No, but Krishna says, Vedanta Krid Veda Vedeva Chaham, that I am the source of the Vedas. And, and basically that we should, if we surrender to Krishna, we will get the Vedas. Do you know what I mean? We get the essence of the Vedas, which is the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vedanta Sutra, or the cream of the Vedanta Sutra, which is the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then the next thing, when they realize that they can't be happy in the world, what do? They want to go to become one with God. That's the next thing. And we have that as well. We still want to be we still want to be enjoying. We still want to be the head. Or maybe I'm God. Maybe if I just merge into God. Maybe I am God, and I can just merge into being God again. And that's called liberation. Liberation means you want to get rid of material suffering. That's what liberation means. You want to get rid of material suffering. It's just too much, especially when you get older. Your body gets older. There's this pain, this pain. you have these conversations. I just hope it's a kind of a litany of all the diseases we're all going through at the moment. I had my recent checkup and my liver is not so good, kidneys, I guess. And, it's like swapping stories about the miseries of the world. But a devotee, tries not to get too much involved in that. And because we're not the bodies, basically. But basically, then what people want to do is they want to get rid of these material miseries, and so they want liberation. But that's not going to get us anywhere either. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Mm. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's according to the scripture says that they eventually get fed up there, and then they want to come back down again because they're naturally souls. That's their actual position. The souls, so they're desiring. That's like we said at the beginning that the desire, that we all have material. We all have, sorry, desire. That's the nature of the living entity. But before saying that as a Vaishnava that I want to go back to the spiritual world, right? That's what you were saying originally. But actually, we don't. Actually, we really also want to merge. We also want to become part of the Brahmacharya, you know. But because if we really wanted to go back to Godhead, we'd be there. But we don't because we want all of these things. And that's the reason why we're still here. So we have to also get rid of that desire for merging or for liberation from ourselves. And the Bhagavatam, it actually, a steady study of the Bhagavatam, it's the 9 cantos before we come to that stage of saying that, being a Christian in the spiritual world. That's a theoretical understanding. It's good. It's important to have that, but that's not actually the situation that we're in. That takes a long time to get rid of all these other desires that are there. And that's why Bhagavad Gita is highlighting that for us so that we can see that we have those desires as well. And it will give us the intelligence to know that we want to go beyond that. We want to go beyond those things. But a theoretical study, and that's why I'm saying that, you have to practice this over many years. Because after a while, then we'll see that the material desires are still there. They're like weeds, and they keep popping up like raven. With many heads. We think that we've got one head. Okay, finish that one. Then another one pops up, and got that one pops up. But if Krishna told gave us all that at the beginning, we'd say, "Oh, forget it. I'm not going to be able to do this." But we have such wonderful guides in the Krishna consciousness movement. Prabhupada and all his disciples are showing us very clearly that this just takes a little time. There is great joy and bliss along the way, but at the same time, there's hard work as well, and there's a full effort of actually surrendering to Krishna, because we haven't surrendered for millions of lifetimes. We haven't surrendered. We've ignored Krishna. We basically said, "You don't exist, Krishna. I'm only existing. I want to enjoy here. So don't annoy me. I don't want to have anything to do. I'm just here and I want to enjoy." That's our mood. Unfortunately, that's our mood. That's actually what's been happening. So if it's going to take a while to get rid of that, it's going to take just a lot longer to come to the position to where we're going to say, "I just want to do whatever you want me to do, Krishna. I'm surrendering unto you." Because generally we surrender to the false ego. That I want. Mm. It is a most important desire. Most important. Yes.
Like, so if we are what if
Yeah.
if you are desiring my food would be at that place and then
Okay, just let me intervene just for a second there. If you look at the Srimad Bhagavatam, at the very beginning, it talks all about Lord Brahma and the whole creation, and all of these things. And not only does it say it once, but it says it about 7, 8, 9, 10 times at the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srila Prabhupada, there's nectar in there. It tells us about Krishna. In the third canto, in the first canto, it's so much about Krishna. So, but then it goes into all of these different these different things. Krishna. So he's trying to get us to understand the magnificence of Krishna. We sometimes have this cartoon idea of who Krishna is. We have this cartoon. No, there's Krishna, and we make a little cartoon. Krishna's he's lifting over there, and we have all this kind of little kind of mentality that this is from the material society. But actually, Krishna is the person who's controlling the whole material universe. So this is we're given this understanding to get to understand that this is an absolutely unbelievably amazing personality. So we have to get that into our minds, and we're a tiny, tiny, tiny little spirit soul. So the Bhagavatam and Krishna has set out a very clear way in which we can actually get to understand who Krishna is and actually desire and to be in that position of experiencing Krishna. Because that's the goal, that we're actually, even as Jivan Mukta Uchite, we're in the spiritual world, even while in the material world. So, yes, that desire is most important. And we have to have it very strongly to go there. But there is a process, and it does take a little time. So there's enthusiasm, determination. These are the three most important things that Rupa Goswami, who's our Acharya, has said. There's the enthusiasm, determination, and what's the last one? No, it is good, but mercy is very good. Oh, there's one other thing that we have that from our side. Patience. Yeah. So we have to be very patient because, it's very, I think it's very good that the questions you're asking completely exemplify the fact that you are making a very strong endeavor in Krishna consciousness and Krishna, as you were asking, Kripa, that the mercy will appear, that's very clear and has appeared, and as we can see, as I mentioned earlier, you can get that right at the beginning. We see that in the example of Dhruva Maharaj. You see so many examples. Prahlad Maharaj in the womb, everything. Even Maharaj Parikshit. He had that experience in Krishna, and all his life he was looking, to experience Krishna. So in that sense, that what you're explaining there is very clear. But I suppose the only thing that I would say please keep on going at that pace because you need to. Because you will get all the guidance along the way in that with that. Word. Thank you so much for those questions. I really appreciate it. So, there you go. Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, very good. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Could you say that because that's a great example? Actually, you could say that it's a very important one. Oh, okay. Okay. Yes. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Yeah.
in devotee, you develop this.
Very, very good. Yeah, very good point. The association of devotees. It's like, yeah, no, it's very good. Very good. Very good to keep emphasizing. Right, very good. Jai, thank you very much. That's really good. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So now, the second part of the program, we're going to start with the kirtan. Maybe I'll just start with a short kirtan, and Radhikanta, you'll be staying as well, will you? Hare Krishna, Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prastaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane, Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora, hey ba, Hari ba, hey ba, Nitai Gora, Hari ba. Nitai Gora, Hari ba, Hari ba, hey ba, Nitai Gora, Hari ba. Prabhu, do you want to sing?
I don't know. Excuse me. She just leaves so if they think I'm going to she decided go to Dr. Ben. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna. Haribo! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Manu? Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. One more in the flow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more, all together, please. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bo. Thanks for your wonderful singing.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ramo Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ramo Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ramo Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ramo Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Too quick. It's too quick. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Govinda, Jaya Radhe Govinda, 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 Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda. Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda. Gaurani Jai, Jaya Gaurani Jai. 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 Radha Gopinatha, Radha Gopinatha. Radha Gopinatha, Radha Gopinatha. Radha Gopinatha, Radha Gopinatha. Radha Gopinatha, Radha Gopinatha. Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva. Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva. Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva. Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Radha Govinda ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Oh Hare Haribo. Please.